I am working on processing a core wound, like I talked to you guys about yesterday. It just came online for me that I was able to tell from my emotional response that that I had some wounding, you know what I mean? Like I was really, really angry. So as I talked about yesterday, I was able to take a look at how much of this is current and how much of this is past. And that started my explorative path into what was going on. And what I was able to find out yesterday, after completely unplugging and deciding that my feelings were right and my words were free. That's what I tell my kids when we're going through emotional stuff. I say, do you want to talk about it? And your feelings are right. Your words are free. I mean, ahimsa, no. Meaning you get to do whatever, you get to explain your situation using whatever words you want, as long as you can try to find words for it, you know? So anyway, stop. I'm outside with the dog, who's digging in the mud. So what I was able to find out yesterday is I grew up in a don't ask, don't tell household. I grew up in an alcoholic home where it wasn't always permitted for me to talk about how I felt or situations that I felt were unsafe, especially if those situations were anywhere immediate for me. In fact, I was taught, you know, if I was walking, it wasn't that bad, and if I was breathing, you know, then why should I be crying? So I at some point chose to adopt those beliefs and make them my own, and that's not useful for me anymore. So I'm going to rewrite that program, which is part of what we do in the Be Human recalibration system. We rewrite some of the old programming that's no longer working for us in favor of a new belief system that yields the outcomes we desire, right? So the first thing we have to do is get in touch with those ideas that are running through there, and those ideas that have often been there for a really, really long time, and that have settled down into ideas that have become practiced on a daily basis, which allows them to become beliefs. And for me, if it's a belief that I've held for a really long time that I adopted as a child when I was forming my understanding about what is and who I am, then it becomes part of my core value system. So when I start taking a look at a thought that's a belief, that's a core value, that's a really big shift and transition and deal inside. That's more than a little like, I think this is might be an idea of mine. This is a belief that I have been operating within for as long as I know. So when I feel one of those, when I come in contact with one that's not going to work and I decide to make a shift or a change, it's quite a process. And it's quite bewildering, to tell you the truth. Because as the old belief is leaving, because I know it no longer works, I don't yet know what the new one is. So I know what I'm leaving no longer serves me, but I don't know where I'm going to. And that's a difficult process. It's a difficult process to let go and just to trust in, because there's no certainty and I have no familiarity, and I have, it's tough to have, I have no experience. So I do have faith at this point because I've done this process a few times. I have yet to leave a belief system that wasn't serving me and decide that I really wanted to stay there and go back to it, that was the better idea. That's never happened. I have left quite a few beliefs and belief core values, deciding that they no longer operate and work within my new understanding of self, and leaving them has each time allowed me to develop a new one that's more useful in my evolution. So I do have faith in that, although I don't know what the new belief here looks like, and I don't know where I'm going or where I will end up. I do know that I'm ready for a new one, and I do know that the old one's not working. So I'm just going to let that go and let that be enough. And I'm going to allow, and I'm going to stay really positive, and just be love. I'm going to be really loving to myself. So that's what I did all day yesterday, and I was able to have some dialogue with myself and find out what I'm sharing with you today. So I share that with you, because if you have any of those things, those discomforts, those emotions come when we're not in alignment with our highest. So I'm learning when I have these uncomfortable emotions, instead of reacting on the emotion or judging the emotion or telling myself that I shouldn't be doing this or I should be doing this or projecting all this crap, just to unplug from all that is around me and to plug into myself and to say, hey, where's this coming from? How much of this is present? How much of this is past? What can I do for you? What do you need? What would you like? And then to provide myself that dialogue, that safe space and that comfort. And then I really, really can get in touch with the programming. And that's when I can make the change. So this last 24 hours was extremely bewildering for me. I mean, there's been a few times where I just don't have words because I don't know what I feel or what's going on. And that's uncomfortable. But I know it's going to be okay. So that's what I have for you today.